What's up, guys? I wanted to make a video to talk about the passing of Joe Lindner, or Joe Statics. As many of you guys know, Joe Lindner passed away due to an aneurysm. He passed away about 2 days ago, and this was a big surprise and shock to the fitness world. Joe Lindner was an amazing person. You watch his videos and you could see that his videos just brought truth to the world. He was very open about a lot of things that he's done, and he was just very passionate about sharing his experience with bodybuilding and just fitness in general. And he was a funny guy. His videos were so funny, and yeah, it just really hit home. This guy was 30 years old and the peak shape that anybody would want to be, and yeah, to know that he passed away suddenly is just a shocker. It shocked everybody. And I wanted to make this video just to talk about aneurysms a little bit, because I had something similar to what Joe Lindner had. I didn't have an aneurysm, but I had an AVM. And an aneurysm is just when your wall inside your blood vessel weakens and it causes like a bubble to form. And when that happens, if you have like high blood pressure or anything like that, that wall continues to get weaker and it could burst. Now, I don't know if he knew about this aneurysm. I assume that he doesn't know, because he would have probably had some type of surgery for it. Because when people find out they have aneurysms, they normally have surgery for it, because the potential risk of rupture can cause very catastrophic deficits within a person, or even death, and in his case it caused him to die. Yeah, and just aneurysms in general, most people know what they are, but they don't know exactly like what they do. Like when they hear somebody who passed away from an aneurysm, they kind of know like, hey, he probably he bled somewhere and died. But this could happen to totally normal people, and that's the thing that is crazy. Like, they happen, and people can have these in their heads without even knowing it unless you have a scan, and not many people get scans on their head. And the fact that this happened is just, it's really devastating, because it's somebody who's totally healthy and just gone like that. And I wanted to speak about this because the thing that I have that's similar in AVM is a tangle of blood vessels inside your head that could cause an hemorrhage. It normally happens in like the middle of your brain, and when that happens, aneurysms normally happen inside your head or your brain. When that happens, you have a stroke, and you could have deficits from it. You could become paralyzed if you make it out, or you could pass away. And yeah, this really hit home, because the guy was only 30 years old, and it's just like that, you're gone. And I feel blessed that I found out about my situation very luckily, because I got a scan on my head, and that's because I had some hearing loss, and my hearing loss made me discover that I had this AVM thing. And when I went through surgery and things like that, it made me really think about taking my health seriously, because we can't control what's inside our body. On the outside, we could look strong, fit, we could be in the best shapes of our life, and all that could go away if you have an aneurysm or even an AVM. I guess I'm speaking of the two because they kind of go hand in hand, because they could cause a stroke. And yeah, it's just a thing that we don't normally think about until it happens to us. Like, maybe Joe Lindner didn't even know that he had an aneurysm in his head, and that's the cause of his death. I don't believe it's necessarily ruled that is the exact cause, but that's kind of speculation that's going around right now. And I'm just making this video based on that, because yeah, it could be very true. And if it is true, it just opens people's eyes to the world of like, these things happen. It happens to football players and different athletes too. It's very rare for it to happen, but it happens. It happens where somebody could have a rupture due to an aneurysm. Totally healthy people could have this too. You don't have to be taking PEDs, performance enhancing drugs, steroids, or anything like that to have that happen to you, to have you form an aneurysm. As aneurysm could form to totally healthy people, and it could just form to people who develop cardiovascular issues from, you know, not working out and not eating properly. Like, those things all have an effect on our cardiovascular system. You know, our cardiovascular system runs our whole body. The way our blood flows through our whole body causes us to be able to live, right? We need blood flow to our brain, blood flow to all of our organs and tissues. And with that, you know, we have our arteries and veins, our blood vessels that deliver oxygenated blood throughout our whole body. And, you know, that's a very important system of our body that, you know, we can't really pay attention to unless you're getting, you know, blood work and scans and staying up on your health. And I think, you know, sometimes that's things that we take for granted. And I wouldn't necessarily say it like that, but it's like we don't really know what's going on in the inside at all. You know, we can see things on the outside. You know, you get a cut, you can see where you're bleeding, but you can't really see or even know what's going on in the inside of yourself unless you're, you know, a medical doctor. Then you know things that, you know, you could see a scan of yourself and kind of know exactly what it is. You know, when I found out about my AVM, I had to learn about it. I had to learn about all this stuff, and just like anybody else who like might have, you know, some type of illness or disease that they find out they have to find out exactly how it is. And we do that through doctors and, you know, through researching on like Google and YouTube and all that stuff, and just finding out what exactly it is, and, you know, just becoming well informed on that condition that you have. And yeah, I just wanted to make this video to talk about it because, you know, Joe was the light in the fitness world. I mean, it's really devastating to see someone like that, you know, pass away suddenly. And, you know, I had one of my dad's friends pass away from an aneurysm rupture, and it's just scary to think that that could happen. And, you know, most people don't know that they have it, and when it happens, again, it could be very catastrophic, just like the loss of Joe Lindner. And I just want to make this video to shed some light to, you know, his possible condition, or, you know, his condition if it is truly confirmed, because it's still early in discovery of this. But regardless of the fact, like, these things are very serious, and that's why it's good to keep up with your health. And no matter what age you are, you know, if you have, you know, the right proper health insurance, just checking on your blood pressure and things like that. And there's so many different things that we could do to help that. And I think it's important that we do. That's all I got for this one, guys. Peace.